Have you ever paused during one of your quiet morning walks and wondered, why do I feel lonelier than peaceful lately? The crisp air, the soft rustling of trees, and the gentle rhythm of your steps may seem comforting, but deep down, something feels missing. Many older adults, especially those past 70, treasure their solitude. Walking alone feels like freedom, like a peaceful retreat from the noise of the world. Yet hidden behind that quiet beauty lies a subtle truth. Walking alone too often, especially after age 71, may quietly accelerate aging, not just in the body, but in the mind and spirit as well. It may sound surprising, even unbelievable, but science and human experience both whisper the same message. We are not meant to walk through life entirely alone. Growing older is not merely about counting years. It is about nurturing connection, purpose, and vitality. And while walking remains one of the best exercises for longevity, when done in isolation for too long, it may drain the very essence that makes us thrive. So today, let's walk together through understanding as we explore 5 hidden reasons why walking alone might be doing more harm than good, and what you can do instead to keep your heart, mind, and spirit youthful for years to come. Let's begin with the first reason, one that hides in plain sight. Social isolation weakens the immune system. When we walk alone, we miss the small but powerful interactions that keep our biology balanced. A simple wave from a neighbor, a friendly chat with another walker, even a laugh shared over a funny observation. These tiny moments are not just emotional. They are biological triggers that boost serotonin and dopamine, the natural chemicals of happiness and motivation. These neurotransmitters, in turn, help regulate your immune system, lowering inflammation and strengthening your body's ability to fight illness. But when you consistently walk in silence, the brain receives fewer of these positive signals. Cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to rise subtly. Over weeks and months, it weakens your immune defenses, leaving you more prone to fatigue, aches, and slower recovery. A study from the University of Chicago found that chronic loneliness can be as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That may sound dramatic, but it reflects how deeply connected our immune health is to our sense of belonging. The body interprets isolation as a form of stress, as if something vital is missing. Over time, it wears down the body's natural shield. So, while that solitary walk might feel peaceful for the moment, repeating it daily without any form of social engagement can gradually strip your immune system of its resilience. The cure, thankfully, is simple. Invite someone along, greet a fellow walker, or join a local senior walking club. Connection, even in small doses, rebuilds the body's invisible armor. Now let's move to the second hidden reason, one that speaks directly to the mind. Walking alone increases mental fatigue and cognitive decline. At 71 and beyond, the brain still craves stimulation, variety, and challenge. It doesn't stop learning simply because we've aged. In fact, it depends on novelty to stay young. But when we walk alone, especially on the same routes every day, the brain receives repetitive input, the same sights, sounds, and thoughts, without conversation, interaction, or shared laughter. There's little new stimulation to awaken the neurons. The mind begins to drift, replaying old worries or memories. Slowly, this repetition can dull cognitive flexibility, the ability to think creatively, remember vividly, and stay mentally sharp. When we walk with others, however, conversation activates multiple parts of the brain. Listening, responding, and remembering small details all spark new neural activity. These microstimulations keep the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision-making and memory, alive and active. Researchers have found that social engagement is one of the most effective ways to reduce the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. The combination of physical movement and mental interaction works like a natural gym for the brain. Imagine the difference. One walk spent in silence, lost in thought, versus another spent chatting with a friend about a favorite memory, a new recipe, or an old story. One drains mental energy, while the other fuels it. So the next time you step out, think of walking as not just an exercise for the legs, but for the brain. A chance to give your mind the company it craves. Our third hidden reason might surprise you because it has more to do with the heart than the body. Walking alone increases emotional stress and lowers heart health over time. Human beings are emotional creatures. From the day we are born, our hearts respond not just to physical activity, but to emotional energy. Loneliness is not just a feeling. It's a physiological state that changes your heartbeat, blood pressure, and even how your arteries function. When you walk alone, especially for long periods, your emotional state can subtly shift toward melancholy or rumination. You start thinking deeply, sometimes too deeply, about the past, regrets, or uncertainties. These reflective thoughts may seem harmless, but they trigger low-grade emotional stress that the body interprets as danger. Cortisol rises again. The heart rate variability, an indicator of heart health, begins to flatten. The blood vessels stiffen slightly. These changes might be invisible, but over months, they can increase the risk of hypertension or fatigue. Now compare this to walking with someone you enjoy being around. Your heartbeat synchronizes with laughter, conversation, and shared rhythm. Studies have shown that companionship literally steadies the heart, improving circulation and oxygen flow. Even the simple act of matching pace with another person can regulate breathing and lower blood pressure. Your heart thrives on connection as much as your muscles thrive on movement. Walking with a friend doesn't just make the journey lighter, it makes the heart stronger. Let's now look at the fourth hidden reason, a deeply emotional one that many seniors overlook. Walking alone slowly reduces motivation and joy over time. When you walk alone, it's easy to lose consistency. There's no one waiting. No cheerful voice encouraging you to go a little farther. Motivation, especially after 70, depends less on willpower and more on companionship. Having a walking buddy creates a sense of accountability, a gentle push that turns routine into ritual. The shared laughter, the familiar company, and the small stories exchanged along the way give walking a purpose beyond exercise. Without that, solitude can begin to feel heavy. The quiet that once felt peaceful can turn into disinterest. Days go by without a walk. Muscles weaken slightly. Balance declines a little faster. And soon the walk that once rejuvenated becomes something postponed. This gradual withdrawal from routine, connection, and nature speeds up both emotional and physical aging. But with even one companion, the same walk becomes alive again. The path feels shorter, the effort lighter. You find yourself laughing again, noticing flowers or greeting other walkers. Joy itself becomes medicine, lowering blood pressure, balancing hormones, and keeping your mood youthful. The great paradox of life is that joy shared multiplies. while joy alone fades quietly. And finally, we arrive at the fifth hidden reason, perhaps the most profound of all. Walking alone deprives you of emotional resonance, the soul-level connection that keeps the spirit young. The truth is, after 71, life is not just about extending years. It's about deepening meaning. Every walk is an opportunity not just to move your legs, but to move your heart. To share stories, wisdom, laughter, or silence with someone who understands. When you walk alone too often, you miss the subtle exchange of energy that occurs when two people simply exist together. You miss the shared observation of a sunrise, the gentle reminder that you are seen, heard, and valued. And over time, that emotional emptiness can silently age the spirit faster than the body ever could. Aging is not merely a physical process. It is a spiritual one. The body may wrinkle, but the spirit is meant to grow softer, kinder, wiser, not lonelier. Companionship keeps the spirit elastic, the soul curious, the laughter alive. Walking with someone else reminds you that you are still part of the great rhythm of life, still connected to others, still a giver and receiver of presence. So what should you do if you've grown used to walking alone? Start small. Smile at a familiar face during your next stroll. Join a local senior walking or gardening group. Ask a neighbor if they'd like to join you once a week. If no one nearby is available, walk at a park where others gather. Sometimes, even being surrounded by gentle human presence creates a sense of belonging that nourishes the soul. You can also listen to uplifting audio stories or gentle conversation podcasts while walking. That way, your mind still feels connected and enriched. The goal is not to give up solitude completely. Solitude has its own healing magic. It allows for reflection, gratitude, and peace. But balance it with connection. A few shared walks each week can transform how you feel physically, emotionally, and spiritually. You'll notice more laughter, better sleep, stronger balance, and renewed enthusiasm for daily life. Walking with others also adds a layer of safety that cannot be ignored. If you trip or feel dizzy, someone is there to help. If you get lost or fatigued, there's reassurance by your side. This sense of security lowers subconscious anxiety, allowing your body to walk with more confidence and freedom. In fact, studies show that seniors who walk with companions are not only healthier but also report a stronger sense of purpose and happiness. It's easy to underestimate the quiet power of companionship until you experience it again. The next time you walk, notice the difference between the sound of your solitary footsteps and the shared rhythm of two or three pairs walking together. One sounds like a heartbeat alone, the other like music. Remember, aging gracefully is not about resisting the years. It's about embracing them with wisdom. It's about understanding that health isn't just what happens inside the body. It's also what happens between hearts. Walking alone may strengthen your legs, but walking together strengthens your life. There's a saying from an old African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. After 71, it's not about going fast, it's about going meaningfully, joyfully, and together. As you listen to these words, take a deep breath. Picture yourself walking in the soft morning light, not alone, but beside someone who shares your pace. Feel the warmth of laughter, the exchange of stories, the lightness in your steps. Imagine how that companionship nourishes not just your heart, but your entire being. That's the beauty of walking with others. It transforms an ordinary habit into a living meditation of togetherness. And here's something beautiful to remember. It's never too late to start. Even if you've spent years walking in solitude, every new day offers a chance to change the rhythm, Send a message, make a call, or simply greet someone new at the park. The smallest gesture could be the start of a friendship that rekindles your youthfulness from within. Because aging at its heart is not a decline, and it's a return to what matters most. Connection, laughter, purpose, and love. The body may grow older, but the spirit never loses its capacity to renew. Each shared walk, each smile exchanged, each memory revisited in conversation becomes a thread, weaving youth back into your days. So, as you finish listening today, make yourself a quiet promise that from now on, your walks will no longer be just about steps and distance, but about connection. You'll seek not just longer life, but richer life. You'll invite companionship into your routine, and in doing so, you'll invite vitality back into your years. Because the truth is simple, walking alone may keep you fit, but walking together keeps you alive. And that, dear listener, is the heart of aging well, not in isolation but in harmony, not in silence but in shared laughter, not in loneliness but in love. So the next time you lace up your shoes, look around. There's someone nearby who would love to walk beside you. Someone who, like you, is seeking not just movement, but meaning. Together you can rediscover the rhythm of life that keeps you young, step by step, story by story, smile by smile. And as you walk, not alone, but together, you'll realize something profound. Youth was never lost. It was simply waiting in the company of another soul. For more videos, subscribe my channel.